here we begin with the sixth and last class for the non-resident. Non-resident, last 2 days, the emphasis is on exactly same, whether it is CMA final or CA final exam, exactly same, the problems which are asked for 5 and 5 marks, 6 and 8 marks. That is, if non-resident sportsman is coming to India and playing games, how he's going to pay the tax. Or if it is a foreign institutional investor and they have specific income, or if they have specific kind of income which they want to cover up and take exemption in section 115F and so on. Okay, but this, as we decided, dear students, in the first class we have bifurcated. This is a very huge topic, so we have bifurcated it into 4 parts. The very first class we decided residential status. Now I'm revising right from the beginning, where I feel that you need a revision. For example, business connection, we will discuss that. Then after the residential status, we have also done in the second class how to decide the residential status of company, especially when their active business is outside India and it's a foreign company. Then we started with presumptive taxation, head office expenses, how you need to put, and all the 44 ADs. Airlines question is asked around 2 times, same kind of the question. Then in the last 2 classes, we have concentrated, which were very important, quality good problems. So now it is your duty today. I have not taken the problems this time from study material. So if you are writing CMA exam, CMA study material, if you are watching the video and writing CA exam, CA ke bhi material ke piche, CMA after the chapter is over, there are very good quality good around 10 to 12 problems. I remember one Mr. Roger, and like that, very nice problems are there. Make sure you solve each and every problem of your study material for these 2 chapters. Non-resident, which we are closing today. 2 days you are preparing and writing exam for DTAA. Monday we are starting like pumping heart of income tax. You can say that is transfer pricing, right? Okay. So this is all the schedule. I hope it is all clear. Chalo, shuru karte hain isko. Are you clear how I'm going to do? I'm reading right from the beginning, and as per my this thing where I feel enough explanation I have given earlier also, I will skip it. But please, without fail, if you want me to pause and you need explanation anywhere, pause करके पूछ लेना आपको जो भी doubt है. Okay, चलो. Right from the beginning. You also come back to the beginning of the class for non-resident in your material. Okay. Let us decide the residential state. I'm not doing complete one-to-one revision. Revision lecture for non-resident I'll prepare separately. But you remember how to decide the residential status of individual. In the previous year, what is your previous year? 22-23. He should be in India for 182 days or more, or 60 days or more in the current year, and 365 days in previous year. If he satisfies, he is said to be resident. If he doesn't satisfy any one of the basic condition, he is said to be non-resident. Once he is resident, additional conditions are to be satisfied by the individual for the preceding previous years. 4 PPYs. Out of the last 10 years, 2 years you have been resident in India. Out of the last 7 years, 730 days you have been resident in India. Okay. So this is how resident and ordinary resident he will become. He has to satisfy any one of the basic condition and additional conditions both. Okay. Right. Now, exception to the rule wherein second basic condition 60 days is not applicable. Okay. तो क्या क्या cases हैं जहाँ 60 days वाला applicable ही नहीं है. 182 days or more you are in India, then you are said to be resident, otherwise non-resident. Indian citizen leaving India. Okay. Indian citizen who leaves India for work or employment. Indian citizen who leaves India during previous year as a member of crew or ship. Indian citizen or a person of Indian origin who normally resides outside India comes on visit to India. Okay. Right. So this is all. Then we have continuing with that, I have given this flowchart also. Right. Now this was an exception wherein generally second basic condition is not applicable for person leaving India for job or employment or as a member of crew where his days are decided as per continuous discharge certificate, or Indian citizen staying abroad comes to visit India. For him, instead of 60 days, we have made it 120 days. If he is in India in the current year for 120 days, say less, non-resident, 120 to 181 days, then, and check. This year, so he is in India for 120 or 181 days, and he has stayed in India in the preceding 4 years, 365 days, and his total income in India is more than 15 lakhs. Then he is said to be resident, but not ordinary resident. Do you remember? We have solved enough questions for this. 180 days more तो है. एक और concept add किया है out of the way, nothing to do with how many days you are in India. It says if you are a resident, okay, if you are not resident, sorry, Indian citizen who is staying abroad comes to visit India during the previous year, his income in India has exceeded 15 lakhs and he is not liable to pay tax in any other country. And in India, you have earned more than 15 lakhs. Then forget about 120 days and all. Kitne mein number of days? You are said to be deemed resident. That is resident, but not ordinary resident, and you have to pay the tax. Okay. मैम एडिशनल कंडीशन देखना है? बिल्कुल भी नहीं देखना है. In both these cases, don't check the additional conditions. ठीक है? So this is all about this. Now, residential status of Hindu undivided family, AOP, BOI partnership firm. If control and management is partially or wholly in India, 4 में से 2 पार्टनर भी इंडिया में है ना, that partnership firm is resident in India. If control and management is wholly outside India, suppose one partner is controlling from India, 3 partner, partially to India mein hai na, still that partnership firm is resident in India. Control and management wholly outside India, non-resident. Now only in case of Hindu undivided family, additional conditions both are to be satisfied by Karta, then the HUF will be resident and ordinary resident. Who will satisfy the additional conditions? Karta. And what are the additional conditions? Same. He should be in India for resident in India for 2 out of 10 years. And last 7 years, he should be in India for 730 days or more. So this is all about the residential status of individual. Then we also saw the residential status of other SSCs, Hindu undivided family. ये तो हो गया. Indian company is always resident because it is registered under Companies Act 2013. Foreign company, it is called as foreign company का अगर place of effective management पोयम अगर इंडिया में है तो रेसिडेंट, अदरवाइज नॉन रेसिडेंट. तो कैसे पता चलेगा कि फॉरेन कंपनी का पोयम इंडिया में है? फॉर दैट पोयम, the poem means place where key managerial and commercial decisions are taken for the company as a whole. Okay, the poem would be primarily based on the fact as to whether the company is engaged in active business in India or outside India. So अगर एक्टिव बिजनेस आउटसाइड इंडिया में है, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ बोर्ड मीटिंग्स इंडिया से बाहर हो गई है, तो फॉरेन कंपनीज पोएम इज आउटसाइड इंडिया. एंड इफ पोएम इज आउटसाइड इंडिया, it is said to be what? Non-resident. Okay, but this poem rules which I am teaching now, these two-way rules, they are applicable only if foreign companies having turnover above 50 crores. छोटा मोटा फॉरेन कंपनी, लेट इट बी एनआरआई ओनली, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, इनको फर्क पड़ता है. कंपनी shall be engaged in active business outside India Mark it very important. This is my guessing that problem which I have solved for this problem will surely come in exam. ये जो problem है ना, third problem, those who have missed the second class, in the second class I have done this third problem. I took little more time that day, some technical troubles were there, but then we could do the recording. तो वो video आप जरूर से देखो, ठीक है? Right, चलो. Now what I am teaching you all is that how do you decide whether active business of a business is active business of the companies outside India. So for active business outside India, it has to satisfy all the four conditions. Number one, passive income is not more than 50% of the total income. Passive income 50% से कम होना है. Less than 50% of total assets are situated in India. Less than 50% of total number of employees are situated in India. And payroll expenses incurred on such employee is less than 50% of the total payroll expense. Okay, right? So if these four conditions are satisfied, we say that active business is outside India. Then check the board meeting. If major board meetings are also outside India, तो outside India हो जाएगा. Foreign company will be non-resident. Dear students, if the foreign company is non-resident means what? They don't have to pay any tax in India? No. If it is a non-resident foreign company, whatever the income is received in India, deemed to receive, accrue, deemed to accrue, उस पे तो tax pay करना ही पड़ेगा. Is my speed fine? Are you all following? ये सब हो चुका है, हम सिर्फ revise करना है, because in between I have missed few problems also. So I'm going to take up, and you also please help me out for the numbering if I have missed anywhere. Chalo. Passive income means income from transaction. Passive income 50% से कम होनी चाहिए total income का. तो what is passive income? When transactions where both purchase and sale of goods is from its associate enterprise. परचेज और सेल एसोसिएट एंटरप्राइज है, तो वो ट्रांजैक्शन से जो भी इनकम हो रही है, दैट इज पैसिव इनकम. एंड इनकम फ्रॉम रॉयल्टी, डिविडेंड, कैपिटल गेन, इंटरेस्ट और रेंटल इनकम्स. ये जो इनकम, यू नो, जनरली वी कॉल देम एज इनकम ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. सो दीज आर ऑल पैसिव इनकम ओनली. विच वन? रॉयल्टी, डिविडेंड, कैपिटल गेन ऑन शेयर्स, इंटरेस्ट ऑन डिवेंचर्स, रेंटल इनकम, ये सब पैसिव इनकम है. और दोज इनकम फ्रॉम दोज ट्रांजैक्शंस wherein your purchase and sale both is from associate enterprise, sister concerns. Associate enterprise in detail we will be doing in Monday's class only, when I start with transfer pricing. ठीक है? Now, income as per the total income, okay, of if tax does not require computation, then income as per the books of accounts. ठीक है, वो ठीक है. Now, value of the assets less than 50% of total assets in India. तो depreciable asset के लिए opening closing divide by 2, other assets के लिए books of accounts. Number of employees, average number of employees as at the beginning and at the end of the year shall include persons who do not employed directly by company, but perform similar tasks to the employees. मतलब सब contract employees हैं. Okay, तो एवरेज नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयज लेना है आपको एट द बिगनिंग एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर. एंड इट विल ऑल्सो इंक्लूड टेम्पररी वर्कर्स, यू नो, जिनको हम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बेसिस पे रखते हैं थ्रू सम कॉन्ट्रैक्टर दे हैव कम, एंड हु आर आवर परमानेंट एम्प्लॉयज फॉर हुम वी पे पीएफ, ईएसआईसी एंड वो सब. पेरोल का कॉस्ट लेस देन 50% शुड बी इन इंडिया. ओके. पोएम टू बी चेक्ड फॉर ईच सब्सिडरी सेपरेटली. होल्डिंग कंपनी का पोएम अगर इंडिया के बाहर है तो सब्सिडरी का भी बाहर होगा, ऐसा कोई जरूरी नहीं है. सो यू हैव टू चेक फॉर ईच एंड एवरी सब्सिडरी, एंड दिस अबव डेटा you have to take for the last 2 years possible. Now, if company is engaged in active business outside India, and if the majority board meetings are also held outside India, it's outside India. If board of directors are standing aside and not exercising powers, and such powers are being exercised by either the holding company or any other resident in India, then it is in India. Okay, right. Company is not engaged in active business in India. समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आपको? पहले तो ABOI देख लो, active business, ये 4 condition से. If ABOI is outside India and if the board of directors are standing and then majority of board meeting भी outside है, तो poem क्या होगा? बाहर. Poem बाहर है तो company क्या हो जाएगा? Residential status, non-resident. If board of directors are standing aside and not exercising their powers, such powers are being exercised. बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स साइड में है और कंपनी का कंट्रोल कोई और लोग कर रहे हैं, सम अदर इंपॉर्टेंट पीपल, देन फ्रॉम वेयर दे आर मैनेजिंग. इफ दे आर मैनेजिंग फ्रॉम इंडिया, देन it will be in India. Poem. Okay, right? So determination of the poem is 2-stage: identify and ascertain the person who are actually managing. Okay, this table I just want you all to write, read the table. ये बस मालूम होना चाहिए, छोड़ के भी मत जाओ, बट जस्ट गिव इट अ रीडिंग. आई होप कहाँ मैं रीड लिखा रही हूँ याद है, so that one day before exam how to study, and then many flow charts, booster notes also I have given. देखो, location where board of directors exercise their authority, then place where key decision. If board is taking the decision, board कहाँ है? इंडिया में है तो रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस इंडिया है, सिंगापुर में है तो रेसिडेंशियल स्टेटस सिंगापुर में. Location of senior management when powers are delegated by the board to senior management, then place where such senior people are taking decision. Location of executive committee where powers are delegated by the board to, board of directors are 12. Out of 12 directors, chairman, vice chairman, finance director, admin director, ऐसे 5 लोगों का ना एक executive committee बनता है. So if the decision is taken by that executive committee, so where is the location of that executive committee? Decision of circular resolution, round robin voting and all. Then location of person who has authority to take the decisions. अगर वो लोग online करते हैं, decisions made by shareholders on matters which are reserved for shareholders. Few resolutions and all are passed by shareholders. Then location where the decision is taken, okay, are not relevant for determination of the poem. So अगर कुछ shareholders के decision उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, because company का management तो company कर रही है. Location of the head office. So if it is shareholders, it doesn't matter because all the major decisions are not taken by shareholders, na? तो shareholders अगर decision important है, तो generally shareholders decision where they take in the AGM, but that this place is not relevant for the control and management. Location of head office senior persons that are located in the principal place of business. Suppose we have 18 branches across India and world, but then main principal place of business is Delhi, New Delhi. Okay, so if that place is in India, then residence India mein. Decentralized company, then location where? Sometimes the offices are decentralized and all the major decisions are taken in Zoom and all. Then where senior managers are primarily based, return to travel to other location and all. तो कहाँ पे major meeting होती है? Senior management may operate from different locations via telephone or video conferencing and all. Then location where highest level of the management, okay, are there. Third problem I'm not discussing, already we have done this. Fourth also I discussed that the place of business is outside India. Generally the foreign company will be resident if they satisfy these conditions. If it is not satisfied, then it will be non-resident. ठीक है, ये जरूरत नहीं है कुछ आपको मेजर पढ़ने की. All right, this table is very important for problem solving and I have done it. Taxable, non-taxable. I hope you remember what is income received and deemed. ये सब हो चुका है. चलो business connection फिर से पढ़ेंगे. You all wanted to do again, no? Business connection. See, foreign company who is having P in India, place of establishment, then that case, whatever is the place of establishment, through whatever they are earning, they will pay the tax as if it's a branch. But foreign company who are not having P in India, no place of establishment, they will be paying the tax as per business connection. Now, when we say that foreign company has got a business connection in India, three cases. It has habitually exercised in India an authority to conclude contract on behalf of non-resident unless his activities are limited to purchase of goods. थोड़ा सा law की जैसा language है. So it is said that business connection is there, yes, when the non-resident is habitually exercising in Indian authority to conclude the contract. Order लेते हैं, supply करते हैं, सब कुछ आप देख रहे हैं इंडिया में with the buyers and all. Then you are said to have the business connection in India, except you just come to India, go to Kashmir, buy the handicrafts, go to your country and sell. Can you say ये जो बेचोगे ना वर्ल्ड में कहीं पे, इस पे जीएसटी इनकम टैक्स इंडिया में देना पड़ेगा? नो. Is my explanation clear? This says habitually exercised in India means yes, they are, concluding, getting orders, delivering the goods. पूरा पूरा कर रहे हैं, तो फिर you have business connection in India. Except when you are just procuring the orders, then no business connection. Yes, business connection. I want you all to write the taglines. You all are with me on this page number? Yes. Next. It has such authority, but habitually maintains in India a stock of goods from which he delivers the goods and all. ठीक है ना? तो stock of goods है इंडिया में. Habitually secures orders in India mainly or wholly for non-resident or for the non-resident and other non-resident. So India से controlled or subject to same common control. So you have secured all orders from India for them only for that non-resident. Okay? And other non-residents, but आप उनके लिए इंडिया में अगर order ले रहे हो, so then they are said to have a business connection. और या फिर उनका गोडाउन है इंडिया में, तो business connection है ही. Exclude then what is not a business connection. A business activity carried out through broker, commission agent having independent status. You are an NRI, you are working in India, in Mumbai through agent Mr. A, but he is not your agent. He is a resident, an ordinary resident of Mumbai. और आप जैसे 50 NRI के लिए वो काम करता है. So is the agent required to pay tax on all the income earned by 50 NRIs? No. Agent is having independent status. He is not your sole agent. Okay? If such broker, commission agent is having independent status, then no problem. Okay, right? Next, in case business of which all operations are not carried out in India, only such part of income shall be deemed to accrue or arise in India as is reasonably attributable to the operations carried out in India. ठीक है? Even if the non-resident is operating through India, he has got business connection in India. Whatever he has got business connection in India, that much income is taxable. He himself is an NRI. So he is sitting in his country, Switzerland, has done some transaction with another person in Canada. Does he have to pay the tax in India? No. ठीक है? Now, income attributable to operations carried out in India. As we say that only operations which are carried out in India, on that he has to pay tax, then the first one included here is, इसमें से आजकल बहुत question आते हैं, one line bit questions are asked, commenting questions. I think I have included some more here. If I come across, I will discuss now. थोड़े business connection के question मैंने भी यहाँ लिए हैं. Can I please request all of you to put a tick on whatever questions are over so that unticked will be clear? I don't know it's a good habit or not. As a teacher, I cannot solve 1, 2, 3 आज 4, 5, 6 कल वो कभी भी नहीं होता. चलो. So what operations ke through you have earned the income in India, on that much only you have to pay the tax in India. So let us see what is that. Income from advertisement, targeting customers residing in India, or accessing advertisement through IPA located in India. So advertisement ke through NRI is getting income from India, and that income, how do we come to know कि it is from India? जहां से यूज हुआ है IPA, इंटरनेट प्रोटोकॉल एड्रेस, कहाँ का है? इंडिया का है. Income from sale of data collected from person residing in India. So some data is collected from India and then sold out. उससे जो income हो रही है वो भी इंडिया के थ्रू है. Advertisement income, sale of data, or sale of goods or services using that data collected from person residing in India. So you have sold certain goods or certain services and all through the data, but it is all carried out in India. Now this is asked in MCQs. True and false या कुछ तो ऐसे एक एक लाइन है क्वेश्चन. Following incomes are not deemed to accrue and arise in India, so surely they are not going to be taxable in India. I want all of you to write here, not taxable in India. लिखा आप सबने, not taxable in India. In case of non-resident, no income shall be deemed to accrue or arise in India through or from operations which are confined to purchase of goods in India. Just you purchase the goods from India, there is no other connection, koi client nahi, kuch nahi, koi order nahi, then you are not liable to pay tax in India. News and views, sharing of news and views, BBC and TV channels and all, no. Shooting of cinematography film. You are making movies in Hollywood, and just for some shooting you have come to Hyderabad and doing the shooting and going. Can you say नहीं नहीं ये मूवी की शूटिंग तो हैदराबाद में हुई, जो कमाया वो इंडिया की इनकम है? आंसर इज नो. एक्टिविटीज ऑफ अ फॉरेन कंपनी, हाँ ये एक बार पूछ चुके हैं, सिर्फ फॉरेन कंपनी who is confined to display of rough diamonds in the specified notified zone. इंडिया के तो थोड़े जोन में फॉरेन कंपनी को अलाउड है रफ डायमंड्स और डिस्प्ले करने की, एंड सो दैट दे गेट सम बिजनेस एंड ऑल, बट उस पे टैक्स नहीं है. सो व्हाट आर द 4 केसेस वेयर इन इट इज नॉट टैक्सेबल? देखो खुद से एंड आस्क योर डाउट, पूछो. यू नीड टू लर्न दिस, इट्स नॉट टफ बट थोड़ा नया है आप सबके लिए. चलो. Yeah, one more thing is added here, significance, economic presence. This we have discussed कि आजकल तो business पूरा हवा में मतलब online हो रहा है. So if you have more than 3 lakh users in India, I gave the example of YouTube, या फिर 2 crore से ज़्यादा अगर आपको इंडिया से पेमेंट आया, कुछ भी online goods and sale of services and all, then you are settled. Same like business connection, you can have professional connection also in India. इंडिया में आपका प्रोफेशनल कनेक्शन भी हो सकता है. लाइक समवन इज लंडन बैरिस्टर who earned $50,000 through a firm of solicitors based in Delhi. इंडिया में दिल्ली में किसी ने उनको इनवाइट किया, प्लीज कम एंड गिव योर सर्विसेज हियर. So is he liable to pay the tax in India? Yes. Give some message, all clear or not until now? Are we ready to take some problems? Business connection खत्म नहीं हुआ, उससे related we will take the problem. चलो. Examine in the context of provisions under Income Tax Act 1961 each of the following cases. State in brief whether there exists business connection or not. हाँ, तो हर एक केस में business connection है या नहीं देखते हैं. XYZ Limited, a company is resident in Dubai, has set up a license office in Chennai to receive trade inquiries from customers in India. The work of the license office is not only restricted to forwarding of trade inquiries, but the license office also negotiates and enter into contract on behalf of XYZ with the customers in India. समझ में आ रहा है? तो license office open किया and उसके through your license office and is just like a P. So is there a business connection? Yes. Business connection is established. Write down. Business connection is established. Write down, please. Just 2 seconds. Okay. Chalo. Okay. Now this is LMN, a resident of USA. They have set up a branch in Hyderabad for the purpose of purchase of raw material. अच्छा, सिर्फ purchase करके गए तो it is not having a business connection and it does not have to pay tax in India. But this time, branch which is in Hyderabad is also engaged in selling the products manufactured by LMN and in providing sales related service to customer in India on behalf of LMN. Branch office is also engaged in selling the product manufactured by LMN and in providing sales related service to customer in India. समझ में आ रहा है? तो सिर्फ आप जस्ट रॉ मटेरियल परचेज नहीं कर रहे हैं, फिनिश गुड सेल भी कर रहे हैं, आफ्टर सेल सर्विस भी दे रहे हैं. वेरी वेल, बिजनेस कनेक्शन इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन इंडिया. बट वन प्रॉमिस, even if the NRI or the non-resident is having a business connection in India, he is liable to pay tax only on whatever income is earned through that. Okay? In India, not the world income. Mr. Rahman, a resident in India and based at Nagpur, is appointed as agent, incorporated in UK for tracking Indian market. He was canvassing the orders and then communicating to the UK firm. He has no authority to accept the orders, and all the orders were directly received, accepted, and everything was done directly by the foreign company. So this time the Indian resident is not doing specially any work. He's just helping out the foreign company और वो लोग ही direct कर रहे हैं. No purchase of raw material of any manufacturing take place in India. Aegis one entitled to receive commission on sales, so concluded. One non-resident is giving service from his own country, UK. Indian agent ke through, it is just getting some data and information for tracking the Indian market. But all the transaction direct foreign party is doing, all the orders foreign party is procuring, payment is also directly going to foreign party. तो इंडिया में तो कुछ काम ही नहीं है. Business connection not established. Business connection is not established. ठीक है, चलो. Then we have seen all this salaries, interest, royalty, fees for technical services. For all this, I have told you common thing that if these are paid by government of India, they are taxable. If these are paid by resident for project in India, they are taxable. Paid by resident for project outside India, not taxable. Paid by non-resident fees or royalty and interest for any project or business connection in India, taxable. ये याद रहेगा या नहीं लॉजिक से? Take 2 minutes time and read it and tell me, is the gist clear or not? I have to teach you many more problems in between which I left, but ये समझ में आना चाहिए, clear होना चाहिए. Right. 6, 7, 8 problem I think we have already done. Yesterday some of you were telling, no, एक बार बोलो वापस से क्या homework थे problems we will discuss from there. From which problem we have to discuss? Already we have done all this. 8 तक तो I remember. Can you mention in the message? 9th and 10th were homework. Okay. Check if you have done. All these 3 are done. They are already there in the first video. You can check it if you have missed the class. Determine the tax liability of US based company. Okay. Entering into a transaction. 5 lakh rupees received from Indian domestic company for providing technical know-how in India. फॉरेन कंपनी को बिजनेस मिल रहा है इंडिया से, क्या टैक्सेबल है? यस. 6 lakhs from Indian firm they are receiving for conducting feasibility test for their new project in Finland. खुद क्या है? यूएस बेस्ड नॉन रेसिडेंट कंपनी. और पे किसको कर रहे हैं? इंडियन फर्म को. लेकिन प्रोजेक्ट कहाँ पे है? इंडिया के बाहर, फॉर द न्यू प्रोजेक्ट इन फिनलैंड. So it is like this. ये देखो, paid by resident for business connection of project outside India, not taxable. So this is not taxable. 4 lakh it is receiving from a non-resident for use of patent. One non-resident, he is receiving 4 lakh from another non-resident for use of patent for a business in India. बिल्कुल taxable है. अगर आप बिजनेस दे रहे हैं इंडिया में तो बिल्कुल टैक्सेबल है. $8 lakhs from a non-resident for use of technical know-how in Singapore, not taxable. You yourself are in UK or USA, wherever, and you are paying the fees to another non-resident for a business in Singapore. India को कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है, not taxable. 10 lakhs for supply of manual and designs for business to be established in Singapore, not taxable. So what is taxable in India? For foreign company, how much income is taxable in India? 9 lakh. 9 lakh पे टैक्स कितना है फॉरेन कंपनी को? 40%, 36,000, और 4% ESES. How much is it coming? Check once. Those who have done the homework, they can share the answer, and if they have got a different answer, please discuss. 2 minutes, I'll be back. Yes. 9 lakh is the income for foreign country, and because it's a foreign company, 40%, 36,000 is the tax. In that 4%. Yes. What is your answer? 37,440 is the tax payable. Easy, clear? Chalo. 10th problem, if you have done the homework, share the answer. If not, I'll ask you to solve it now in class here. Business of HUF is transacted from Australia. All the business decisions are taken by Mr. E, Karta of HUF, who was born in Kolkata, and he visits India after 15 years. Okay. He comes to India on 1st April and leaves India on 1st December. Determine the residential status of Mr. E and the HUF. तो अब HUF के केस में तो क्या है? कंट्रोल एंड मैनेजमेंट कहां से डिसीजन ले रहा है करता? The business of HUF is transacted from Australia. All the decisions are taken by E, who is born in Kolkata, but after 15 years he has come to India. अभी तक तो कंट्रोल कहाँ था? ऑस्ट्रेलिया में. तो HUF is going to be non-resident. समझ में आ रहा है? HUF तो नॉन रेसिडेंट है. अभी कर्ता की बारी आ रही है. कर्ता. If HUF is resident, then you have to check the additional conditions by the कर्ता. But यहाँ पे HUF तो क्या है? नॉन रेसिडेंट. अब किसकी बारी आ रही है? कर्ता. तो कर्ता की बारी आ रही है तो चेक. कर्ता is in India from 1st April to 1st December. So can we calculate how many days he is in India? Like 30 days of April, 31 days. Can we put it in calculator? April 30, May 31, June 30, July 31, August 31, September 30, October and November. $244 days. Who is in India 244 days? Mr. E. So he is satisfying the first basic condition. 182 days or more he is in India. Now additional conditions he will not satisfy because last 10 years, 2 years he should be resident. Last, what do you say? Last 7 years, 730 days he should be in India. But वो तो India आया ही 15 years. तो मिस्टर ई का स्टेटस है रेसिडेंट बट नॉट ऑर्डिनरी और HUF तो नॉन रेसिडेंट. टेक योर टाइम, चेक एंड टेल मी यू आर कंफर्टेबल विद द आंसर. लिख रहे तो लिख लो पूरे कैलकुलेशंस. ठीक है. This is also a very nice problem, 11th one. Whether he is an NRI or not, and if the income is taxable. This is all about last 1 hour we have been discussing only about the residential status है या नहीं. देखो, Jerry, who returned to India on 15th August after a stay of 12 years in UK, provide you with all the details. Okay, so he came to India on 15th of August. अब 15th अगस्त को इंडिया में आए तो कितने दिन इंडिया में था चेक करो. 15th को भी लेंगे, 15th अगस्त और 31st को भी लेंगे. Yes. Let us first decide Jerry's residential status. Then we can decide what income will be taxable. So he returned to India on 15th August after 12 years. तो कितने दिन काउंट किया आपने? August में the day he came to India, 15th also and 31st also. So 31st and 15th. So 17 days of August. Very good, very good. 229 days. Very correct answer. August 17 days, September, October, November, December, January, February, and March. Go on putting the days. 229 days. Are you writing the answer also? 229 days he is in India. So he is said to be resident. But he came to India after 12 years. So preceding previous year, out of 10, 2 years, he was not in India. Out of last 7 years, 730 days, he was not in India. Right? Okay. So in that case, he is said to be resident, but not ordinary resident. Resident, but not ordinary resident. Clear? Chalo now. Take a pause and tell me, once a person is resident but not ordinary resident, which column is applicable? I have given you one table, and when I taught it very slowly in the first class. Ye wala. Income received in India, taxable. Deemed to be received, taxable. Accruing, taxable. Deemed to accrue, taxable. Income received outside India, accrued outside India. Business is controlled from India. Yes. Okay. So like this, it is taxable. 5 cases are there. अब देखो. Income of rent of the flat in London, which was deposited in bank there. Income of rent of flat in London, which was deposited in a bank there. And the flat was given on rent by him after his return to India in July 22. तो रेंट कहाँ पे मिल रहा है? लंदन में. रिसीव कहाँ हो रहा है? लंदन. अक्रू कहाँ हो रहा है? लंदन. Who is he? Resident but not ordinary. So why he should pay tax in India? I want to repeat, and you also repeat with me, all of you. Resident but not ordinary resident. Income received in India, directly received, not remittance. Deemed to be received. Accrued in India, deemed to accrue. बस हो गया. और एक एक्स्ट्रा है, इनकम रिसीव्ड आउटसाइड इंडिया, अक्रूड आउटसाइड इंडिया, बट बिजनेस कंट्रोल्ड फ्रॉम इंडिया है, तो वो ले लो. ठीक है. So this is not taxable. Dividend on shares of 3 German companies which are being collected in the bank account in London. He proposes to keep the dividend in London only. ठीक है. कहाँ अक्रू हो रहे? बॉन्ड्स जर्मनी कंपनी के हैं और वहीं पे, तो नॉट टैक्सेबल इन इंडिया. He has got 2 sons, one of whom is 10 and another is 21 years. Minor's income is clubbed in the hands of parent till the age of 18. For every minor child, parents get exemption up to 1500 per child under section 1032. So both his sons are studying in London and not returning. Each of his son is having income of 75,000 in UK in foreign currency, not received in India, not taxable. इनकम कहाँ है? यूके में. मिली कहाँ? यूके में. अक्रू कहाँ है? यूके में. पढ़ी कहाँ है? यूके में. Nothing to do with India. And 20,000 in India. Yes, it will be taxable. 20,000 in India. That too only for one son, minus 1,500. Write down, all of you. Are you comfortable writing? Only for this 10-year child, 20,000 received in India will be taxable minus 1,500. 21 years को कुछ भी नहीं होगा. ठीक है. 21 years income will not be taxable in India. Now, during the previous accounting year when he was resident, one second, I'm really sorry again. When he was a non-resident, he had sold 10,000 shares which were acquired in the pounds, and sales were also repatriated. Profit is also in the pound on sale of these shares and all, while in Indian rupee. So is this taxable now? Preceding accounting year mein when he was in NR, he has sold 1,000 shares which were acquired in pounds, and later sale proceeds were repatriated in India. कमाए वहां पे लास्ट ईयर जबकि खुद भी एनआरआई था, एंड लेटर ऑन repatriation is like remission or second receipt. It's not taxable in India. Not taxable in India. You can get a same question for 8 marks and it is super scoring, dear students. 4 bits, 2 marks each. ठीक है. Then that's all for the residential status. Presumptive taxation, enough revision also I have done. I am skipping everything. 4485%. और खास आपको बताया था जो फ्लाइट से आते हैं whatever income, यहाँ से if you go wherever income is received it is taxable. But a flight is coming from Australia, whatever income they are receiving in India only, that is taxable in India. Now first proviso to section 48. You know, when capital gain is earned by NRI, so they have invested in rupees. So sale consideration convert into dollars using average rate on the date of transfer. Expenses also on the date of transfer. Cost of acquisition on the average rate of date of acquisition. Finally, you will get the capital gain in dollars, and that you convert it into rupees by taking the buying rate on the date of transfer. We have solved good problems for this. Now this is an optional scheme. First proviso वाला नहीं है. हाँ, ये तो पूरे schemes mandatory हैं. Non-resident, if they are getting dividend, it will be taxable at 5%. खास करके infrastructure bonds and all remaining 20%. Non-resident, if they are getting royalty income, it will be taxable at 10%. Only in the royalty income chapter 6A deductions are available. बाकी कहीं नहीं है. Index नहीं मिलेगा और royalty है तो return भरना पड़ेगा आपको. Then overseas financial organization, if they get long-term capital gain, 10% say taxable. (115) AC. Non-residents, if they have got income on GDRs, global depository receipts, 10% they have to pay. This all we have learned. Yes, these 3 are most important. Repeatedly asked. फिर से करते हैं. बहुत सारे problems we have solved for this. If a non-resident sportsman is there, entertainer is there, or sports association is there, तो sports association को जो amount guaranteed मिलता है, which is guaranteed to be paid or payable to association for any games or sports played in India. So that association has to pay 20% tax in India. Sportsman hai to income through games, through advertisement, and through contributing of articles in the magazines and all. Match referee is not considered. 20% आएगा और इस सबको tax pay करना पड़ेगा. Other than the, अच्छा इसमें 194E में TDS deduct होता है along with ESES. Here it is winning from lotteries and all, so they have to file. Generally, if the sportsman is having only these income, then he need not file the return. But if he is having casual income, lottery and horse races and all, even though 30% TDS is deducted, he has to file the return. इसके अलावा जो बहुत पूछते हैं एग्जाम में, yesterday 3 to 4 good problems we have done. Foreign, I really want you to do revise this at home और इसके problem this at home ऐसे break करके करोगे. When the students clear after the exams only feedback they give is, ma'am, with lot of clarity and in partition way we have studied the jumbo chapters so that we could recollect in exam. So study this concept, solve the problems related to this. अभी ये करो. Foreign institutional investor है या कुछ specified fund है category 1, 2 and all. Then income on the securities, whatever they have earned, how they are going to pay tax. Short term capital gain है 111 है, STT charge है तो 15%. Other short term capital gain 30%. Long term capital gain है तो 10%. Other income है तो 20%. कुछ स्पेसिफाइड फंड में अदर इनकम है तो 10%. ठीक है. एंड ओनली इफ दे रिसीव इंटरेस्ट फ्रॉम दैट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बॉन्ड्स, रूपी डिनोमिनेटेड बॉन्ड्स, तो फिर 5%. कोई अवेलेबल नहीं है इनको बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन एंड ऑल, एंड ऑफ कोर्स दे हैव टू फाइल द रिटर्न. Apart from this, if there is a resident who has received GDRs by way of ESOP and he has got some income, that income is taxable at 10%. स्पोर्ट्समैन और वो सब इनकम कितने पे टैक्सेबल है? 20%. स्पोर्ट्स एसोसिएशन 20%. एंड दिस वन इज नॉट देयर प्लीज. इनफैक्ट आई डिलीटेड इट फ्रॉम द कंपनी चैप्टर. कंपनी का असेसमेंट मैट पड़ा था बट बाय मिस्टेक यहाँ से डिलीट करना रह गया है, तो आप इसको निकाल दो. इट्स नॉट देयर. ये स्पेसिफाइड वाला सेक्शन ही नहीं है 115 BB. So that's all for these kind of the incomes. Okay. Then we have done specific kind of capital gain, which is there 115C. But here you will not get the benefit of first proviso. कोई indexation, कोई benefit नहीं मिलेगा. Ma'am, when to solve the problems in exam with 115C वाला? When a non-resident has acquired shares in India, स्पेसिफाइड असेट मतलब शेयर्स, डिबेंचर्स, गवर्नमेंट के सिक्योरिटीज इन कन्वर्टेबल फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, एंड इफ ही हैज गॉट इन्वेस्टमेंट इनकम एंड लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन. क्या क्या खरीदते हैं? शेयर्स इन इंडियन कंपनी, डिबेंचर्स, डिपॉजिट्स, सिक्योरिटीज एंड ऑल. ओके, राइट. सो So in this case, this incomes, how they are taxable? No deductions will be allowed. And if there is investment income on these shares and all, like you have received dividend on shares, interest on debentures, it will be taxable at 20%. Long term capital gain 10%. और बाकी की जो इनकम है वो रूटीन आपका स्लैब रेट्स या जो भी, अगर फॉरेन कंपनी है तो 30% एंड ऑल. Yeah. Now, because you have purchased specific shares of the company in convertible foreign exchange, suppose you sell these shares and purchase another company shares, you will get exemption under section 115F proportionately. ठीक है? Right. If you have only these two income, investment income from specified asset and long-term capital gain, and TDS is being deducted, then no need to file the return. Okay, but whatever new shares you have purchased, you should not sell for 3 years. Acha, once non-resident becomes resident, then also for these category, can he continue with this tax? Yes. So related to that, we have solved all problems. Okay, now this table I want you all to remember. इसको कैसे याद रखेंगे मैम? थोड़े से TDS के रेट्स अब हम पढ़ रहे हैं, ध्यान से सुनो. पहले I will be taking for sure 4 exclusive classes for all of you for TDS. TDS is not there in any syllabus of final. आपके बुक में नहीं है. Okay. लेकिन last few exams, if you observe the trend, January 23 exam या कोई भी पेपर ले लो, 22 का पेपर, they are giving you 4 bits that this is the income. Which section of TDS is applicable? What is its limit? 194C contract है या 194I profession, तो कितनी लिमिट है? 75,000, 25,000, and at what rate TDS will be deducted. So for sure, TDS classes with PDF material I will give you little later. It will take time, but मिलेगा आपको. तो आज क्या पढ़ रहे हैं हम? We are in the chapter non-resident. अब non-resident, you know, we encourage non-resident. Arey, please come and invest in the rupee denominated bond, infra bond. They say, oh, then you will ask us, टैक्स रेजिडेंस सर्टिफिकेट लाओ, प्रूफ लाओ, टैक्स पे करो, रिटर्न फाइल करो. No. Indian income tax is a jhamela. They keep on changing the ITR forms. So we said, no. You come and invest in the rupee denominated bond. You come and invest in the infrastructure bonds. 5% is the TDS deducted and 5% is only your tax. TDS कट गया तो आपको कोई टैक्स नहीं पे करना है एक्स्ट्रा और कोई रिटर्न नहीं भरना है बाद में आके. Oh, then it is fine. So today's class, exclusive TDS rates I am discussing, which are applicable to your what do you say, किसको applicable है आपके NRIs को. तो काफी rates हैं. I know it is not easy to remember all. Important ones I am taking first. Tick mark. If you remember, fine. If not, no problem. जितना याद रहे अच्छा है. ठीक है, चलो देखो. First one, which in fact you should by heart, is these two. 194E में specified payments made are under 115A to non-resident sportsmen, entertainer and all. स्पोर्ट्समैन जो भी इंडिया में इनकम कमाते हैं 115 BBA में कितना टैक्स देना है 20%. तो फिर क्या करना पड़ेगा इनको? If they have to pay this much tax 20%, then what is the TDS deducted 194E में. अच्छा, these sportsmen and all, if they get winning from lotteries, casual incomes and all, they have to deduct winning from lotteries and all 194B. और हॉर्स रेसेस तो TDS कटेगा ना. राइट. इसके अलावा what you have to remember for exam is 195. Any income of NRI, TDS is to be deducted not at the rates I'll be teaching you in another table. वो 192 193 वो सब रेसिडेंट के लिए जो रेट है उस पे. ठीक है. राइट. और ये बाकी सब अब दूसरे इनकम्स है, GDR income and all. If you remember, fine. Otherwise, just I am discussing. It's okay, whatever it is. Like you all know, even NRI, if they get salary income from India, salary पे tax कैसे करता है? Normal slab rate. अब what is it? What is your tax for the year throughout the year? Divide by 12 और 12 installments में every month में they are deducting. Premature withdrawal of EPF aggregating to 50,000 and more, तो 10% TDS कटता है. Commission etc on sale of lottery and all above 15,194 G में 5%. Yeah, this one is important. Are you ticking which I am saying important you should learn? Interest on infrastructure bond 5% और 5% TDS कटेगा तो यहाँ लिख दो no return required. कोई जरूरत नहीं है आपको रिटर्न भरने की. Right. 194 LBA and all. This is distribution of interest income received, SPV is giving interest and dividend to business trust. Business trust is giving to the unit holders and all. So whatever is the interest income received or receivable by a business trust from the SPV, 5%. And dividend received or receivable by business trust from SPV, option to pay tax at concessional rate, they can pay tax at ये सब आपको एक फ्लो चार्ट में बताया था. However, if SPV is not exercising the option to pay the tax at concessional rate 22% and all, then dividend income would be exempt in the hands of unit holders and फिर कोई TDS डिडक्ट नहीं होगा क्योंकि वो खुद ही पूरा टैक्स भर देंगे. अगर वो concessional rate पे जाते हैं तो फिर unit holders के हाथ में taxable है, then deduct the TDS. So business trust and all, generally how much TDS is deducted? 10%. But if it is income received by business trust from the SPV, then 5%. SPV to unit holders, 10%. और कुछ रिट होते हैं, याद है आपको? रियल एस्टेट के इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड्स और ट्रस्ट, तो उनको जो रेंटल इनकम है उस पे रेट्स इन फोर्स पे दे हैव टू चेक. Interest payable by Indian company from business trust till 1st July 23, rupee denominated bonds and all 5%. Interest payable on the same bonds to FIIs, foreign institutional investors, QFIs, qualified foreign investors, वही rupee denominated bond पे 5%. कैश विड्रॉ करते हैं 1 करोड़ के अबव तो 2% TDS कटता है, और अगर डिफॉल्टर है, लास्ट 3 years का रिटर्न टाइम पे नहीं भरा, तो दिस आई विल टीच यू इन डिटेल विथ एग्जाम्पल 194N, which is 2% for withdrawal above 20 lakhs to 1 crore, 1 crore के above 5%. और अगर no default is there, then directly 1 crore के above 2%. ठीक है? Foreign currency, if they are putting the money in mutual funds and all 20%, I think इतने rates याद भी नहीं रहेंगे, तो leave it. चलो, now coming 10 minutes, very quickly, I'm taking the procedural part. Now, what is this gist I will say? When we are seeing that how much NRI's income is taxable in India, at what rate he has to pay tax in India, then if he's going to pay the tax through agent, then let us catch hold of the agent. If not, then how do we recover the tax from NRI? Can we transfer the case to that recovery officer who is there in the foreign country and give him all the detail? देखो ये यहाँ से भाग गए, नीरव मोदी आपके कंट्री में है, क्या क्या टैक्स है, क्या है, एक बार आप देखो और रिकवर करके, तो yes. And for recovery of the tax, whether in India and abroad, you have all those recovery of tax rules. One chapter is there, collection of tax. बिंदास आप पूरा टैक्स उनसे रिकवर कर सकते हैं. कैसे? हाँ, how you are going to recover all the tax from them? By attaching their property, by issuing them summons, calling, and so on. So that's what is a very simple procedure here. Let us see it. Main rates of TDS you remember, otherwise no problem. ठीक है? Recovery of the tax. As per section 160, agent of a non-resident, including a person who is treated as agent, is considered as representative SSE. Non-resident का जो इंडिया में agent है जिसके थ्रू वो purchase sale कर रहे हैं, we can recover the tax from him. Okay, right. Who is agent of non-resident? A person liable to tax under this act, then tax may be levied upon and recovered from agent. The assessing officer may serve the notice and everything to the agent. One or two important problems I have missed for that royalty and all. So just check all the problems after this. पहले ही complete कर लेते हैं. So we know that in case of non-resident, we can recover the tax from agent. So who can be the agent? Who is employed by or on behalf of non-resident? Non-resident himself has appointed on his behalf agent, or who has any business connection with non-resident, from or through whom non-resident is in receipt of income, who is a trustee of the non-resident, and includes any other person who, whether or resident or non-resident, has acquired by means of transfer a capital asset in India. इंडिया में अगर पैसे मिले हैं आपको ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ नॉन रेसिडेंट, तो फिर आप एजेंट ही हो गए और आपको टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा. और यू आर अपॉइंटेड बाय द नॉन रेसिडेंट, or you have a business connection with the non-resident, or from or through whom the non-resident is in receipt of any income. ठीक है? Right. Exception. This is asked in exam. Who cannot be the agent? I told you, agent is independent. He is not exclusive agent of this NRI कि उसके लिए काम करें. मैं इंडिपेंडेंट एजेंट हूँ, मुंबई में मेरा एग्जिम का काम है, एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट का, and I have my own office, and 50 NRIs के behalf पे I am working. So am I have said to be the agent of that NRI? No. When broker in India in respect of transaction does not deal directly with or behalf of non-resident but deals through a non-resident broker, shall not be deemed to be agent under this section if transactions are carried out in ordinary course of the business and non-resident broker is carrying on the transactions in ordinary course and not as a principal. Routine में आप तो कर रहे हैं. Agent shall be entitled to recover the sum, to retain the money, and to retain out of money that may come to him from his capacity as agent. एजेंट ने कुछ बिजनेस आपको प्रोक्योर करके ऑर्डर लेके सब करके दिया, तो एनआरआई, इफ यू आर नॉट पेइंग द टैक्स, एजेंट कैन withhold that money which he is liable to pay the tax on your behalf. ठीक है, just give it a reading. I think they are not going to ask so many things in detail, but एकदम छोड़ने से अच्छा some background idea we should have. Recovery of tax in respect of non-resident from his asset, this is good. In case where a person entitled has business connection or any property in India or any asset or all, and he is liable to pay tax, then can we recover through his assets and all in India? Yes. Like someone in Burma has transferred the capital asset in Mumbai to someone in Sri Lanka, पर capital asset कहाँ है? India में. So can they recover the tax from the agent who has done all the work in India? Can you recover the tax in foreign country? Same. वही collection and all. ये important है. They can ask, market important. We can submit all the details to tax recovery officer who is having jurisdiction in their area in their country, and he can proceed to recover amount specified by attachment and sale of SSC's movable or immovable property, arrest of SSC and his detention in prison, or appointing a receiver for the management of SSC's movable and immovable property. हाँ, प्रॉपर्टी बेच के या उसको जेल में डाल के कैसे करके भी आप पैसे रिकवर कर सकते हैं. Non-resident is having a license office, then they have to submit within 60 days. They can ask in MCQs. Within 60 days from end of financial year, the license officer has to give lot of details for the non-resident. Same way, within 12 months from the end of the accounting year, you have to furnish the report in respect of international group. Suppose we are a part of the branch of main company, holding company जो foreign में है, तो पूरे ग्रुप का जो भी रेलेवेंट डेटा है, whatever form they require in India, that you have to give. All these problems are over yesterday. I don't know, I remember one problem is not over. I think 27, please check in your notebook. Oh, thank you so much for this list that these problems are pending. अभी करेंगे, छोटे छोटे हैं, कुछ टाइम नहीं लगेगा. We'll do it now. One second. Last two are to by mistake printed here. They are not related to this. तो अभी keep them pending only. वो गलती से यहाँ print हो गए. 26, 27 if not done, we will do it now. 26 I didn't do yesterday because it was business connection. Did you all follow business connection? Huh? And as per my guessing, sure, what you will get in exam is, one is this problem, 28, and one is ये वाला problem, 22. Sportsman, market important, check it one day before exam also. ये तो बहुत अच्छा था problem. This one, different kind of income he's having, and he's a foreign institutional investor. So how section 115 AD is applicable, and you have to split the tax rate. Chalo, last two and then we will close. The last two ones are not related to this, by mistake printed here, तो भी छोड़ दो. जहाँ relevant है, I'll make you do. Okay? Chalo, 26th problem we are doing now. State with reason whether following transactions are deemed income or not. वो deemed income जो था ना section 7 and 9 उससे related है. PQR is a broadcaster of news channel in India. It has made payment to a Thailand company not having P in India for downlinking television channels in India and international footprint through a channel. तो बिजनेस कनेक्शन है या नहीं है? PQR कौन है? इंडिया में है. इट हैज मेड पेमेंट टू थाईलैंड कंपनी. थाईलैंड का कोई पी नहीं है, बट थाईलैंड के चैनल्स उनको इंडिया में देखना है. तो थाईलैंड की इनकम इंडिया में अक्रू हो रही कि नहीं? यस. इनकम accruing in India for Thailand company, as they are going to get the viewership in India ना, अगर वो channel display करेगा. Resident is making payment to non-resident for the services rendered in India. Who is resident? Indian news channel. They are making, you can say ma'am, news and views. Those news and views are like those national channel, you know. ये तो थाईलैंड की कुछ प्राइवेट चैनल्स आप इंडिया में दिखा रहे हैं, तो बिल्कुल टैक्सेबल होगा. Z, a foreign citizen and diamond merchant from US, has earned 10 crores from display of uncut. अभी टर्न बैक करके देखो बिजनेस कनेक्शन में आपको लास्ट वाला पॉइंट कि दिस इज नॉट टैक्सेबल में आई सेड कि डायमंड मर्चेंट है और इंडिया में सिर्फ डिस्प्ले कर रहे हैं स्पेसिफाइड जोन में, तो नॉट टैक्सेबल होगा, बट दैट इज फॉर foreign company and he's a foreign citizen. This is not taxable, or you can say exempt for foreign company. But Mr. Z, Mr. Z is a foreign citizen, not a foreign company. Hence this income 10 crore taxable in India. बिल्कुल taxable है in India. Okay, chalo, let us do the 27 sum. Raj Limited, a non-resident foreign company, has entered into a collaboration agreement approved by central government with Simran Limited, Indian company, and is receipt of following payments. So Raj Limited कौन है? Foreign company है. Income कहाँ से आ रही है? Simran Limited, जो government approved है India से. Okay. First income is interest on 8% debentures 40 lakhs issued by Simran on July, in consideration of providing of technical know-how and designs. Oh, so NRI ने technical know-how और designs इंडिया में दिए हैं, तो उसके फीस के लिए we have given them 40 lakh debentures. Language ध्यान से पढ़ो. तो वो 40 lakhs ही first of all it will be taxable. Followed or not? Huh? Indian company is paying to an NRI for receiving the fees for technical services and all technical know-how in India, 40 lakh taxable. But now instead of giving them fees, we have issued them debentures. So अब debentures का interest भी कहाँ accrue हो रहा है? India में. So will it be taxable? Yes. Service charges of 2.5% on value of plant leased out to Simran is payable. So of course on these service charges also it will be taxable. Apart from this, Raj received long-term capital gain on sale of debentures subscribed in convertible US. तो वही section 115 F and all वो applicable हो जाएगा. कंप्यूट द इनकम ऑफ राज एंड इट्स टैक्स लायबिलिटी। इसको नोटबुक में करेंगे, लास्ट प्रॉब्लम है एनआर का, अच्छे से लिख के करो। Did you follow one thing or not? Ki there is not just one income, there are like 1 2 3 nahi 4 income. We have rendered services. Foreign company has given services to Indian company and they have received interest on debentures, but these debentures are issued as a technical know-how. तो debentures जो issue है वो भी तो income ही है ना, right? Okay, so just make the columns, start taxing it, total income. Problem number 27 in your notebook. Computation of income of Mr. Raj Limited. It's a non-resident foreign company. Whatever they have earned in India, they have to pay tax. First is fees for technical services. Though in the form of debentures they have received, पर जो fees मिली वही तो taxable है ना. Next है interest on debentures. Interest on debentures is 8% on 40 lakhs and these are issued on 1st July. So 9 months. $40 lakhs into 8% into 9 by 12. 2,40,000. Service charges. .5% of 500 lakhs की मशीनरी है. 2.5%. 12,50,000. Just go on writing the list. Long term capital gain भी मिला. And this they have subscribed in the convertible foreign exchange 115 वाला. तो कोई indexation नहीं होगा, कोई नहीं होगा. It is in US dollars, पर अभी तो इसको rupees में convert करके ready है. 1,90,000. Let us calculate what will be the gross total income, and then there are no deductions. So directly what's going to be the capital gain and other taxes. Tax liability भी पूछा है तो ही निकालना, otherwise don't take out. One second. How much is the gross total income coming to? Total income कितना आ रहा है? 40 lakhs. Yes, 56,80,000. 6 classes we have done for non-resident. Maybe transfer pricing also 6 classes. Because अभी तो पेपर देखो ना तो प्राइमरी एडजस्टमेंट, सेकेंडरी एडजस्टमेंट, कप मेथड, एडवांस प्राइसिंग सब कहीं ना कहीं they are covering up. GAR also I'll take with that only. Once done with this, then small chapters will be left. हाँ, इसको कंप्लीट करते हैं. इसका टैक्स लायबिलिटी निकाल देते हैं. Tax liability, we will take one by one for each one of it. What is the first one? Income, fees for technical services. Fees for technical services, it will be taxable at 10%, 44 AD royalty or वो सब में 40 lakhs at the rate of 10%, that is 4 lakh. नेक्स्ट क्या है आपका? सर्विस चार्जेस ऑफ लीज. कैपिटल गेन ले लेते हैं पहले तो, क्योंकि वो फ्लैट 10% रहेगा. 1,90,000 into 10%, that is 19,000. And other two incomes are the routine incomes, interest on debentures and all, and it's a foreign company, so we can tax it at 40%. Other income. ₹2,40,000 interest or service charge. Only if service charge alone is their lease of plant and machinery, then they can go for that 10% presumptive taxation, 44 triple B and all. But this is all collective income. %. Why? Because it's a foreign company. 5,96,000. So what is the tax payable? 5,96,000. Plus 10,000 plus royalty. On that, he says 4%. How much is it coming? मैंने कहीं एक फिगर में गलती की है ना. जस्ट चेक द टोटल वंस. 500 into लीज का फिगर 500 lakhs है ना, into 2.5%, so 12,50,000. oh sorry, इसका 10%. Into 4%. So that's all for this. This kind of the problem is rarely asked, but if asked, you should know. All kitch it is having royalty also, all the other incomes also. 1 second. Yeah. So that's all for 27th problem. 28 we have done. I marked it very important. 29, 38. These two keep it pending right now. When I do those topics, I will take it. Okay? Right. So that's all for the class for non-resident. Hope everything is clear in today's topic. More than half an hour I explained the things about non-residents business connection in India. If they are having P, it's very easy. Through the P they will pay. But business connection है तो ये taxable होगा नहीं होगा, ये accrue होगा. Like that 2-3 questions we have solved today. Okay, like the 26 question and all. So practice all this. प्रिपेयर सुपर वेल एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू डीटीए के 7-8 मार्क्स का एक क्वेश्चन आता है, कभी 19 का रिलीफ देते हैं, कभी 91 का देते हैं, और वही चीज बार बार पूछते हैं एग्जाम में. फॉरेन टैक्स क्रेडिट क्या है, रूल्स ऑफ फॉरेन टैक्स क्रेडिट, यू कैन सेट ऑफ इन इंटरेस्ट and tax and all but not in penalties. So like this, just revise everything. Trust me, this time I'm going to set simple paper, but I want all of you to attempt the paper. जैसा भी है 1.5 घंटा क्वेश्चन पेपर को डाउनलोड करो, एंड इन द ऐप आई हैव गिवन यू परमिशन टू डाउनलोड एंड टेक अ प्रिंट ऑल्सो. So I don't know if you have that facility. Take a printout of that. Sit exactly the way you are writing your final exam and attempt the paper. There will be a very different approach, and that will give you a very genuine confidence. ठीक है? So that's all from my side. Any doubt you have? One second. Now this chat is stuck. That's all. Right. Thank you so much.